people, welcome to the video. This video of our second couples Q&A. It's been highly requested, and by highly I mean 4 people. But we figured we'd do this again because the first time we did this we got a lot of positive feedback. People found it entertaining, found it a little bit interesting, and I think just a chance for us to share our personal lives a little bit outside of the gym. Because I think that's what people assume that's all we do. Which is kind of accurate. So, Carrie has not seen these questions yet. I have. These have been on my phone for probably like 2 weeks, so I've been able to really articulate my answers well and throw a curveball at you. What are you doing? Not interested.
You want that as the Q&A.
Yeah, you're not interested. Don't knock the camera over, please. Get back over here. Anyways, okay. You ready?
Yeah.
So, first question. I don't have who these were submitted by, so if this was you, then thanks for the question. What are the biggest obstacles you've faced as a couple? You start.
I feel like prep is probably for sure one of them.
Me prepping or us prepping together or what?
Probably the first prep that I had to go through with him just because it was a whole new world of bodybuilding. He didn't know anything about it. But us prepping together was also a different experience because then it became like scheduling who was going to be cooking in the kitchen and doing my cardio.
I need the microwave now.
So I think like those were definitely big obstacles. And aside from like fitness, bodybuilding, all that stuff in regards to life, probably our first house. Like getting that first apartment, like our expenses weren't overly crazy and it was kind of just like exciting, like getting our feet wet, living together and everything. But
yeah.
I think having the first house together was kind of like, wow, this is real, and the expenses were a lot more. So it was just kind of learning to work together, like yeah, to do finances and who's gonna clean what and who's gonna do what. Yeah, I think that's probably one of our biggest ones.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think we've like had any crazy challenges or like times where we've questioned our relationship or like, oh, this is, someone like, I don't know, like we don't have really all too much bumps in the road. Like we've been together 4 years now, and as far as, hey, none of that mid video.
Oh my God.
Like, what are you doing? Too much. That's an obstacle. It's him, our dog. But yeah, as far as like definitely me prepping for the first time, her getting used to like what that involves and not being able to share meals, or we can't just go out for dinner or go to a movie and share popcorn. Like those were definitely like obstacles, and that happening at the beginning of our relationship would definitely been a lot harder than had it happened a little bit later because we were still very much getting to know each other. I think by the time prep would have started, we would have only together like 4 or 5 months. So at that stage in our relationship, the dog was just really young. You guys can see him. But we were still like figuring each other out at that time. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, we can't just, like I said, go for dinner, go to the movies, or, I've got to train, I've got to do my cardio, and all these things. But we made it.
Yeah.
It's long behind us now. Okay, next question from Isabel. I remember this one. When are we having kids? Putting the pressure on me, Izzy. Come on.
If I have my
announcement in 9 months, no.
Within like 1 to 2 years. That's what my projection is.
Your projection. Yeah, I feel like COVID definitely threw a wrench in like our wedding plans and when that was all supposed to happen. Like we were hoping potentially like this winter was like hopefully going to be when we would go away and get married and celebrate, but obviously that's not happening. So, we're hoping to have some kind of wedding plans ironed out for 2021. But we can't really plan much right now because of COVID and all that kind of stuff. So we obviously want to get that out of the way before we entertain the idea of having a family, at least in my opinion anyways. And we're in a new home now and still sorting that stuff out. So making sure we have all our ducks in a row when it comes to like finances and we're happy in our situation here and we have it all ironed out before having a family for sure. Mm-hmm. So 1 to 2 years is probably realistic, but as far as like a concrete, timeline, it is very up in the air
Yeah.
right now. Next question. This one's for you. What's it like being with Leroy? He seems to work nonstop.
He does.
I do.
We've had, like, I guess that could be considered an obstacle. I don't know. We've had a few conversations, like, throughout the 4 years of being together where I've been like, okay, like, you need to bring it back down a little bit and make some time for your family. And I mean, like, he's understanding of it, so I just kind of have to voice when I feel like I have no fiance for a little while. But I don't know. I think we're both just like that. We're both very hardworking. Like, I work late too, and he understands that. Like, when I'm in trial prep, I'm basically like not home, and if I am home, my brain's just going a million miles a minute. So I think we both just kind of get that with each other, that we're very hardworking and driven, and that's kind of just part of it. But I'd say in like the last year, we've really focused on like how to still make time for each other and like make sure that we're giving our relationship the attention that it needs, aside from like building our kingdom.
Yeah, I think that for people looking in, it can seem that way, that it's like, oh, you just work nonstop, and like she said, like I kind of do, but I think I personally have been a lot better at making time.
Yeah.
Like this morning, like we got up, we both slept in this morning, no alarm, nothing like that. Got up, walked the dog, worked out together. Like that's our quality time together, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it varies from couple to couple. Whereas some people it's movies, some people it's going out to dinner all the time, or what that. Like that's not us. That's not our relationship. Yeah, we go out for dinner, but it might be like once a month because we're content eating at home and like having our prepared meals a lot. And that's us. And I think that us making time to like train together or even walk the dog in the morning and like touch base on how each other's doing and how's life, how's work, or what's going on, that's where we make that quality time together. And at nights coming home and being able to just kind of turn off a little bit is something that we're both trying to get better at. We both have jobs that sometimes don't always end when you clock out, you know what I mean? Like when I'm done work, I might have clients messaging me, or when she's done her work day, she might get emails trickling in from clients or coworkers and stuff like that sometimes need to be addressed. They can't just wait till the next morning, and that's the nature of our jobs, and that's something that we just both kind of understand and accept.
Yeah. Can't
really change it, right? So yeah. Hobbies as a couple outside of the gym.
Well, like, I think before we got the dog, we kind of, like, we were gone a lot on the weekends. Like, we would do, like, day trips here and there, but we can't really do that much with the dog anymore, and we don't really have that much time anymore with work and stuff. But I feel like just kind of, like, making that time to, like, go on adventures, or just chill. Our life really just kind of revolves around, like, working out and doing housework and, like, making time for our fur animals.
Don't knock over the camera. Yeah, I think as far as like hobbies, like speaking for myself, like really not a lot, and like even for yourself, like you watch some shows and stuff, like you could consider that a hobby, like pastime, but like really like we don't have like recreational like sports or like I don't even know what hobbies are. Like some people. The puzzles, coloring, that kind of stuff. Like if those are hobbies, like no, neither one of us have stuff like that.
I like puzzles.
She likes her puzzles. We'll give her that. You need to set up a puzzle room.
I know. I don't have a table anymore. It's a dining room table in like the middle of the room.
This guy's our biggest hobby. Walking him and hanging out with him and making sure he's happy. You happy?
Yeah.
And go away. Okay, next question. Describe buying a house in 2020. What was that like?
Different. We were lucky that we didn't have to do like the virtual showings, like where a lot of like some cities were doing. We were still able to actually like come and see the house, but we had to wear masks. That was basically the only difference.
Yep.
I think for us, kind of like we didn't plan on buying a house this year. That was not in the cards for 2020.
No.
But we were not loving like our apartment where we were, just because there wasn't a lot of space for the dog, and like it wasn't taken care of very well by the landlord. So it just kind of got to a point when COVID, when it like stopped Leroy's prep, and then we kind of knew that we wouldn't be getting married anytime soon. We're like, you know what, maybe this is a step we should take and and things just seem to keep going up in price. So we figured it would be a better move this year than waiting until next year. So I don't think the overall experience of it was different. I think it kind of made 2020 a little more exciting, to be honest.
Yeah, added some excitement to the year.
Yeah, the only thing that's happened in our life this year.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I've been working from home, so it's been kind of nice to have a house that I can have like my home office in, rather than sitting in the same four walls of a room in our apartment.
Yeah, I agree. As far as like the whole structure of buying a house, like, we still had an agent. You have an agent every other time we physically went into houses, like she said. So the whole like process wasn't really that much different.
Actually, the only difference that I would say big time is that there wasn't a lot on the market. Like, when we first looked for our first house, like we had like tons of options.
You could pick and choose.
Yeah, and like right now we were waiting like every single day for like one new house to be listed, and there was at one point it was like 5 days and there had still been nothing. And then because there was so little listed, then you had between like 6 to 11 offers on each house. So like before we got this house, we lost out on a house by $1,500 because there was 6 offers. That one hurt, but
it brought us here.
Yeah.
And then we have our home. And we're both very happy here. Like this, we had like a checklist, which I think probably most people do, right? When you're house shopping, you have like a list of like, you know, your wants, maybe your musts. And I think this house, you know, checked everything off for us. You know, we wanted to be outside the city, not so far away where it's, you know, a bit of a hassle, but far enough that it's quiet. It kind of feels like the country a little bit. You know, obviously having a yard for the dog was something we wanted / needed. I don't think we would have bought a house that didn't have a yard.
No.
This one was already fenced in, which was super handy. We didn't have to worry about that. Having space to obviously expand our family one day was something that was on our mind, and then having a space for the gym, I think, was probably the only other big one for us, and thankfully we got everything we wanted, which was good. Although stressful when we were shopping.
Just had to be patient.
Just had to be patient, right?